welcome back to another video. Today, actually for the next couple of videos, we are going to be working on the pieces for this, which is a split boutique bow. As you can see, it is Wednesday Addams and Enid from the TV show Wednesday. I will be linking the images in the last video, which is putting all of this together. Today we will be working solely on the twisted boutique bow with it being split. The next video will focus on the surround bow, and the last video is going to focus on the spikes, and then the one after that will be piecing all of this together. If I can link the ribbons for you guys, I will, but some of these I bought a long time ago, so I'm not sure I can. But we're going to get started into this. What you're going to need are 4 pieces of 13-inch long 7/8 inch grosgrain. You are going to need scissors. You're going to need a needle and thread. Of course, you're going to need your twisted boutique bow template. This is the Brilliant Bow Maker snap template for 7/8. You're going to need a lighter, and you are also going to need some double-sided tape. This is the Dollar Tree stuff that I reviewed a while back. As you can see, I've made one of these bows already, and the double-sided tape has worked wonderful on this, so I wholeheartedly still recommend using it. But to get started, you're going to need your 4 pieces of 13-inch wide 7/8 inch grosgrain. Now we are going to be cutting these in half, so just fold the pieces end to end, and you can actually do this a little bit quicker and double layer them when you fold. You don't have to double layer. You could just do this with 2 pieces of 13-inch. But I find that the twisted boutique bow holds its shape a little bit better if you double layer it. So match it up, cut in the center, and then you're going to heat seal your pieces. I'm going to put them in stacks by the color. And we're going to do this side really quickly. Make sure your ends line up. And come to the other end and just cut right there in the center. It makes, if you have to do a lot of cutting, this makes it go by so much quicker. And if you're careful and actually line your pieces up properly and your ends are cut straight, then it's a breeze to get through. All right, so we have all of our pieces cut. Grab a pair of scissors that I can use to cut the tape with. And you are going to take your double-sided tape, get it open, and these are the innards. They're like the inside, so we're going to move those off to the side. You're going to lay this out. Oh, let me bump it up so you can see it a little bit better. You're going to lay it out, and you're going to run double-sided tape along the edge right here. So I just lay the tape down and make sure you press down so that it adheres. Come off. And you're going to repeat this with one of these pieces. Now, this method works for pretty much any split bow that you wanted to make, if you wanted to do Anna, Elsa, things like that. Just remember that you need to split it up like this. 3 of the pieces are going to get double-sided tape on the ends. The last piece will not. So, now the reason why you want to break them up like this and you don't want to do, you know, your 2 sides like this is you're going to get it split up and, you know, bottom and top. You're not going to get it split side to side. This is how you're going to get that side to side split, is if you split it up like this. And then just peel the tape off. You're going to want to line this up and do a 1/2 inch overlay. Go to the next piece. Oh, that one did not adhere. I'm trying to do this around my camera, sorry. Sometimes if it doesn't want to stick, because it does have a little bit of problem sticking to fabric, just run your lighter over it, and you can always peel from another side. It really, there we go. It really doesn't want to stick. Nope. Would not be a good idea for that side. And again, you're going to do a 1/2 inch overlay. If you're using one of these mats, that there's 3 sets of little dots inside each circle, that middle set is the 1/2 inch line, if you didn't know that. That's why I keep lining it up on the middle lines. And we're going to place our last piece. Like that. You could do the full 1/2 inch with double-sided tape. I just find that I didn't need to do that. It stuck just fine. And you're going to go back and just press along where the tape is, just to make sure. Now you have this strip with your 4 different sections on it. You are going to fold it in half. And you're going to run your lighter across the crease here, because this is going to be your center line. Oh, I melted a little bit there. I'll just cut it off. Alright, so sorry, my camera cut off there, but you're going to do the under layer the same as you would with this layer we just did. You want to make sure that your inside layer matches the same layout as this one. And you're just going to piece these together. Like that. Find your centers, make sure they are lined up. And you're going to get them in your template. That crease that we made is where you're going to line up with the line right there. And then you're just going to form your twisted boutique bow like you normally would. Bring the ends to the center, snap. And do the same on the other side. Bring the ends to the center, snap. And now this is where it's going to show you why we had to split it up the way we did. You're going to bring your loops in. snap into place. And here is your twisted boutique bow. As you can see, it is perfectly split down the center. And now you are going to carefully sew up the middle. It is going to be a little bulky, so give yourself a little bit of help. If you have a pair of pliers, I found that that does help as well. I am just going to push on my mat though. If you're going through the tape, your needle is going to be a little sticky. I would just clean it off with rubbing alcohol when you're done. Also, please do not do what I'm doing and using 5,000 yards of thread. It's going to take a while. And you are just going to keep sewing up the center. This is also why we don't use 5,000 yards of thread, because it gets caught up. As you can see, this is why we do not do that. But I leave the mistakes in so that you guys know that bow making does have mistakes. I know I say that pretty much every video that I make mistakes, but I want you guys to know, especially those who are starting out, that there are going to be a lot of mistakes in this. Just keep sewing up the center. Use pliers or your table or your mat or whatever you have on hand to help force it through when you need a little bit of extra help. Because going through all of those layers, it's going to be a little difficult. I know it looks easy, but I'm using the table. As help. Almost went through my finger there. Now, when you reach towards the end, you're going to have to think of where you're going to knot off your ribbon. As you can see, I've reached here and I'm not going to have another stitch. I made my stitches a little big because we were going through so much. It was easier than trying to be precise. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pull the thread fully through. I'm going to come back through, I don't know if you can see, between the last stitch I just made. So right up in the center of there, and that's where I'm going to knot it off. Oops. 2 to 3 times around the needle will make a strong enough knot that you won't have to worry about it. Because we are going to be folding this. This will be a little harder to fold. Have patience with it. It may take you a while to get the fold just how you want it. But we will get to that when I am done knotting this off, because this seems to have caught up on itself. There we go. And we are not going to cut. I've made that mistake before. This is why I knot off in the back, because you're going to pull it off of the template with the thread still attached. And finesse all of your loops so that they're nice and loopy like this. And fold in the center. You're going to need a little bit of strength to do this because there's a whole lot of ribbon in there. And then fold down on one side and down on the other. This is really the best fold I'm going to tell you to attempt to make on this. Don't try anything more than that. And then I just wrap the thread around a couple of times so that I know everything is secure. And this is why I use upholstery thread, because you can really yank on it and it's not going to break. And then I just come through, up through the center. Again, wrap the thread around your needle a couple of times. And Then pull the thread to secure the knot. Again, pull really tight to make sure you have a good, strong knot. And then cut off the excess thread. You're going to go back and shape your twisted boutique bow. Don't worry about the center looking like that, because when you put the bottle cap down on the bow, you're not going to see the center. Nobody's going to see the center. So it's just going to be you that knows about it, and if you hide it, you're not going to see it. So you are going to shape your twisted boutique bow, and I use single prong clips to help with that. It holds it while it's stiffening. Make sure that it is the shape in which you want it to be in. Once it's in the clips, you can finesse a little bit more. Make sure your clips are indeed in the center of your bow. That one was not. All right, so there is your twisted boutique bow done. It is a split twisted boutique bow, and it is one of the pieces of this gorgeous bow. Come back next week and we will be going over the surround bow for this bow, and then the next week we'll be working on the spikes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate this. Before you use this in a bow, I would place it in your stiffening box on a towel, whatever, and drench it with your stiffening medium of choice. I, however, use Stiffen Quick. Yes, there are numbers on the bottle. This tells me how many bottles I have. Once I get down to 4, because I normally don't keep more than 4 on stock, I have a little note that says order more now. It's a weird method, I know, but it helps. So lay this down in your stiffening box on a towel, whatever, spray it down really good, give it one good round of stiffening before you go to work with it in a bow. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.